everybody, and welcome to my video number 13 in my EFT series. And this one I am doing about attracting love into our lives. And as it is the 14th of February, tomorrow Valentine's Day, I just thought that would be just the right thing, just the appropriate thing to do. So I remember 24 years ago I came to the UK to live with my husband, and my first son was just born. He was just 10 days old, and here we go, here is Valentine's Day, and my husband passes me this lovely Valentine's card, and then suddenly his expectation is to get one from me, but then I don't have any. And I didn't know that if you are in a marriage or whatever and you are actually in the same room, I didn't know that there would be the expectation of a card. I just thought we wish ourselves happy Valentine and enjoy the love. And so he got very disappointed, and I had to go and rush and get him a card to make up for it and say sorry, I forgot, and everything else. And so this video I'm going to do about love. It's about love, not just love in romantic relationships, but about love in general, because we are all one and we all share the same, earth. And the love is like, I know sometimes people can feel a bit sad if they don't have a partner, and they kind of feel, oh, everybody else is enjoying Valentine's, I'll be on my own and everything else. But if you do want to attract love into your life, then the first thing is love yourself. Love and cherish yourself, and do a good self-care. And self-care is not just about eating healthily or exercising and everything else, but it is about learning to have healthy boundaries. Because once you've got healthy boundaries and you learn to love yourself, then any love or relationship will be a bonus. And like in the case of my husband, who got very disappointed because he did not get a card from me, you would not actually need to depend on that person to give you this, that and the other. You would just be able to love yourself, and there would be no expectation. The love would be coming not from a place of need, but from a place of harmony, peace and love. And I've just done these pictures just to show you what happens when we are not able to look after ourselves, to protect our space, to have, it's like we are getting into each other's spaces, we are upsetting each other, we are triggering each other, and then at the end there will be a kind of chaos. So what I've done is I've done some pictures to show you, and this is a picture where these are just 3 random people, and that is you in the middle. And here is what I'm showing you. If you are not having healthy boundaries, if you are not able to look after your own space, protect it, if you are drawn into the drama triangles, you're not able to say no to people, you are the victim basically. And if you are the victim, then you're not able to take responsibility for your own life. You will always be blaming the other person. So if you find it difficult to trust somebody, go back to yourself. It's got nothing to do with the other person. This is a kind of reminder to you that there are some issues you have with trusting yourself, and then of course trusting others in relationships in general. But once you start to realize that actually you can trust yourself, then the trust to others will improve as well. So this picture is of us when we are then able to reinstate our boundaries and our self-worth and everything else. We are able to have our own kind of boundary, our own energy. And then this is what it will then look like in interactions with other people. So you see, everyone is in their own space, and there is harmony, peace and love in those relationships, in those interactions. And people will often say, oh well, but if only it wasn't for them, they don't have their boundaries and everything else. And again, if you have your own healthy boundaries, it will be something which won't actually affect you. You won't be affected by that at all. So yeah, I've got a few props which I prepared for the I've got, this is all about, just wanted to show you. So this is about love, and in my language, if I just, which is Czech, my mother tongue is Czech, I come from a beautiful city called Prague, and I'm going just to do something with that. I've just rearranged the words of love, and this is something which in the Czech language is very rude. It's the vole, and people often use it as a very bad swear word. And I was just going to show what happens if there is something in the love frequency, if something gets disturbed and fear steps in, then something which would be very loving and nice can suddenly change into something, you know, something fearful. And as I'm doing these videos about EFT, I always kind of try to explain, because people always ask, well, what happens, what is the, you know, when we are tapping, what is the science behind EFT? And this is actually a good way of showing that when you tap and you are in this place of volley, you swear, you know, you're generally angry with yourself and with the whole world, and you blame yourself and everyone else for everything, and you're in a place of shame and everything else. After you do all these stepping, so I do this stepping on volley, right? This kind of swear word, I mean, this anger with the world, this anger, my God, I mean, everyone is out to get me, you know, all this fear and, oh God, you know, everyone is out in my way and people cut me out, you know, they can't wait, what's going on with this world, and, you know, that person annoys me, and, you know, what's going on? This fear, basically. And what keeps happening is that after we've done, you know, a few rounds on these, you know, on these negatives, then something miraculous happens and things will change back to love. So we restore harmony in our body, and we are able to view the world from a much happier place, and we are able to attract more love into our lives. And as it is Valentine's Day, I've just got this lovely cushion and a pillow. I never know whether it's pillow or cushion, something I always keep mixing up. But this is about two bears who love each other, and they promise each other that they will love each other for the rest of their lives, or till death sets them apart, or whatever. And what I have noticed a lot is that, you know, this kind of sparkle of the love and of the relationship kind of often can go. And I watched in my family, I watched a lot of family members kind of going through divorce, and something I did notice, and it was that, according to my family, the fault was always with the other person, the person who married into the family. Everything was their fault. And then I was kind of thinking, as a child, I was quite a small child then still, I was thinking, well, how can it be just that other person's fault? And sometimes I thought that that person who married into the family is quite actually nice, and I like them, and I don't see why my family is so much against them. Of course there are issues, but you see again what my family was doing, they were kind of trying to, you know, be the victim, and it's the fault is only with the other person. And it's only when we start to take responsibility for for our own selves, that things will start to improve, and yes, we will attract the love into our lives. I said, if we love ourselves, if we nurture ourselves, then we will not need to have a threat, we will never have the need to be threatened. And kind of also realizing that, you don't need to be the victim anymore. I've been volunteering for a charity who was actually helping people who have been abused, and I loved working with the clients. But the people in charge of the charity, they always wanted to control. I always did something wrong. They told me to do something, but then on the list of papers of my responsibilities, when I read it, it was always different. And then I've been told off because I did it the wrong way. So, for example, I've been told by mouse that the working hours is 9 till 5 and I can only contact the clients in that time. But then on a piece of paper, on black and white, it was written, the working hours are 4 hours per week, and you can split it into evenings and weekends. And this client was really kind of lonely and on his own, and all the other agencies were helping him through the week, and I kind of thought it would be good if he get the support, the telephone call on Saturday, and then I've been told off, and there were all kinds of other things which were never right, and so many documents, so many rules, so many regulations. There was so much kind of need to be, for the people in charge to control me. And I kind of sat down and I said to myself, right, they're trying to stop abuse or help people with abuse, but they are not respecting that themselves. And I kind of thought, well, actually I don't need to be abused, and the only right and responsible and ethical thing for me to do is to stop. Because I'm just about to start some community projects and hopefully we'll be able to use EFT. And I was kind of thinking, well, why do I need to suffer that? So you see, I was able to kind of step out, and I went back to this place. And I'm much happier because I always had to wait for calls which were not very nice. I was always told off, you do this wrong, you do that right, and everything else. And it is very much in the helping industry. People will be efficient in helping others if they are coming from a place of love. If they're coming from a place of need, then they will always be part of that drama triangle, and they will actually not be helping the clients very effectively. So let us do a little bit of practical tapping now. Let us first tap on the negatives, and then we can tap on the positives too. So I will, even though I find it hard to keep my boundaries, even though I always have issues with relationships, even though other people always annoy me, I'm not worthy of love. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I always have some issues in relationships, I cannot trust the other person. They've done it before and they will do it again. They will let me down. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this fear of not being accepted by others, fear of not being loved, and that is why I always do things what other people want me to do. I can't say no if someone asks me for help, because then I will upset others. I love and accept and forgive myself anyway. So now we'll be tapping on the acupuncture points just with the reminder phrases. Relationships are difficult. Relationships are hard work. I cannot trust others. I get abused by others. Relationships are hard work. I'm always let down. This fear that I will not be accepted. This fear of being judged. It will let me down. I cannot trust anybody. All this fear I will not be accepted. This fear I will be judged. This fear that I will just be on my own. And take a deep breath in. And see what happened with those feelings. If you have rated yourself before, see, has that gone down a little bit or even has that gone up? Just feel how it is for you. And what often happens is, I've been helping a little bit women who've been abused, from the domestic point of view. And what often happens is that a lot of the charities help those women to leave abusive relationships, only to find that that person will go and they will recreate that same difficult relationship with a new partner. And so here tapping is really a good thing. It is a really good thing to help those people who've been abused over and over, because it's kind of ingrained or programmed in their subconscious mind, and it's not that easy to change, but the EFT can target these very kind of places. And another way of me is, or if you want to imagine where this fear is, what does it look like? And I've got a picture here. That's how the pain or the fear is for me. And you can also feel it in your body. And if you close your eyes, imagine it. Imagine what this fear is like. So we've been tapping, the setups where we've been tapping on how it feels for us. But now we are going to tap, if you can imagine what it looks like for you. How big is that fear? Has it got a color? Has it got a texture? And then we will be tapping on that. So do you feel it anywhere in your body? So let's say you feel the fear as butterflies in your stomach, or it can be wherever it feels. If you repeat after me and it's not quite where you feel it, you will still be getting good results. This is something called the borrowing benefits, where even if you tap on other people's issues, you will still be getting very good benefits, because the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung talks about the collective subconscious, because we all have kind of very similar issues, and they manifest in various kind of ways of us coping. So various addictions, or overworking, or whatever. So you will still be getting benefit, but do it as more specific to what it's for you, because then you will be getting the best results. So I will tap on how it feels for me. So for me, the fear feels as a ball, a spiky ball. The color is gray or black, And it's, as I said, the texture is spiky, almost like, you know, these flowers, you throw them at each other and they get stuck on you. So it's got this kind of very spiky thing which tries to attach to yourself on you. And yeah, let's have a round with that and see how it feels for you. So even though I've got this fear, and it's like a grey spiky ball, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel this fear as butterflies in my stomach, it's there in my stomach, and I see it as this spiky ball, it's grey and sticky, I love and accept myself anyway. Also notice how large it is and see if, as we are getting on with the tapping, whether there's any difference to the size of it. So let's tap on the points and either repeat after me or just do it as it feels for you. So this spiky grey ball, this fear I have, these butterflies in my stomach, this spiky grey ball, I can see it getting smaller and smaller. It's kind of getting further away. This grey spiky ball is moving away from me now, and it's getting smaller. This small spiky ball, this grey spiky ball, this smaller spiky ball. So I can see it getting smaller, so now I can say this teeny small spiky ball, this small spiky ball, this tiny grey spiky ball. It's actually changing texture slightly. It's getting paler and paler, so this white spiky ball, this white spiky ball. And actually I will take a deep breath now. It's very tiny, that spiky ball, and I will just take a deep breath and I will feel, well, how much of that fear is still left. There was like 60% at the beginning, and I can just feel there is still 10%. I can't see that ball very much, but I'm just tuning in and seeing what is there. And to me it looks like there is this black earth. At the bottom is this black earth. The rest is blue. But I feel that fear is still trying to come up from the earth. It's a little bit of black earth. So whatever comes up for you now, continue tapping. So I will continue tapping that even though I still got this black earth, the rest of the picture I see is blue, but at the bottom there is still a little bit of this black earth, these final 10%. Yeah, you can express how much it is for you still. So even though I still got these final 10% of fear, all this black earth, it's very black, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this picture of black earth, these remaining 10% of my fear, this little small leftover remainder of this fear, I love and accept myself anyway. So this little bit of piece of black earth, this black earth, this 10% remainder of my fear, this black earth, this remainder of my fear, this black earth, this small remainder of my fear, this black earth, this tiny, tiny remainder of my fear, these last 10% of my fear, this black earth, this remainder of my fear, this last remainder of my fear. So now take a deep breath and see what is it? Is there still something left? And if there is still something left, I sometimes combine things from other kind of therapies. So I've done Reiki and I've done hypnotherapy and mindfulness, and if I'm helping somebody, I will always combine things from other things. So I sometimes do combine visualization, which is very powerful in helping us also reprogram the negative programming in our subconscious mind. And so just think about this this fear you still have, and just see who can come and help you to combat this fear. It could be a light which you can put over that fear. It could be an angel which can come and help you with that, or it can be a friend. It's anything which is just right for you, which feels right for you. Or some people can imagine the sunshine, or the beautiful sea, or the lovely flowers in the spring, just a meadow. Maybe you can just place it in the meadow and just think who can help you with that fear. Or maybe you can put that fear, whatever it is, we'll put it in a box, you can put it in a box. And it is actually a good thing if you still need to work on your fear in the next session, you can put it in the box and put it there for next time. Say, I'm putting your fear in the box, and while I recognize that there is still a little bit of work done in the future, you're safely put away now. And so the last stepping around, which I will do, it will be about the positive and attracting the positive and inviting this angel or this light, whatever feels right for you, to help you to put that light over that fear. So even though I've got this fear, and it was this grey ball and then it became the earth, I'm inviting a lovely angel to come and put a light on those dark places. And now I see the angel that is shining the light, and the light is shining from the bottom of my heart, going to all parts of my body, healing all the fear, all the illness. Love. I am attracting love into my life. I am a love magnet. My body is healing. This healing energy. So now as we tap through the points, we'll just be tapping on the images, whichever image comes to you, whatever it is that is helping you to overcome this fear. Just tap on that. So this lovely angel, this brightness, this light, this healing energy that angel is bringing, the love sparkles from the bottom of my heart and is healing all parts of my body. That sunshine which is coming out there is also coming and healing. So the lovely sunshine, sparkling sunshine. This sparkling energy. I'm welcoming love into my life. I'm letting go of all the fear. There is harmony. There is peace. And there is love. And take a deep breath in. And you continue tapping if you want to, or you can do it next time. And I've just done a session like that with a colleague of mine. I won a free session, and so I said, yeah, I'm very grateful for a free session. Always good to have a free session when someone offers. And so, so we've done the tapping similar to what I've just been doing now. And my fear was that I've had this illness for so many years, and it's been limiting in what I do, and it's been, I would be saying no to exciting projects, or I wouldn't want to attract them into my life because I felt scary, because if I was to get ill, then what would happen? And the very interesting thing happened that after I had this session with my colleague, which was a very beautiful, productive session, I got a message on LinkedIn, and they've been looking for a teacher of Czech. And 14 years ago, I was doing a training to teach modern foreign languages in local secondary schools, but my illness got to a point I had to leave it. I only went halfway through, and I could not complete this course. And I've never done any teaching apart from my sons or family and friends. I've never done anything more. And, I kind of thought, oh, my belief was, oh, I can never do this because I'm too ill. I can never, my dream of teaching, I have to put it on my side. And 14 years later, I get this message, and I didn't even advertise myself as teacher of Czech on LinkedIn. I only put that, I speak 6 languages, so Czech, of course, is one of them. And Czech is my mother tongue, so it'll be easy to teach. And yes, I'm just signing the contract with that language school. And from next week, yippee hooray, I'm going to be starting to teach Czech to a client the school have got in a nearby town. So I'm looking forward to that. And that is, this is a demonstration of what can happen in your life. Suddenly miracles start coming, that dream which I had 14 years ago of being a teacher of modern foreign languages, I put it to one side. I thought, no, I can't do it. I'm ill all the time. And yet, and it is interesting, there was just after the session, I get this message, and the school has been looking for a teacher of Czech for a long time for this client. They couldn't find anyone. So there we are, they found me. And, I wish you good luck with everything, all the happiness and all the love, and happy Valentine's. Enjoy it, have laugh, and see you during my next EFT tapping video. Bye for now.